What's going on, everybody? It's your favorite dating coach, Elliot Scott, and as you can see by the title below, we're going to talk about how to pull away correctly. I got some things here, I'm going to add more. How to pull away correctly, how to get the guy back, how to get him to come back to you, like you again, so on and so forth, okay? But before we even get started, if you can, please subscribe. Just click the red button below if you want more videos like this with a whiteboard. Also, if you want to work with me, get a session with me, my value guides, get the guy back, all that kind of stuff. The links are in the description, okay? So, jumping right into this, I first want to have a disclaimer, okay? The first thing I want to say is that I truly don't, I'm making this video because a lot of you asked for it, but take my advice, okay? I truly don't think this is the most important thing, and that this is something that you all should be worrying about. I feel that women who worry about the tactics on how to pull away and how to get a guy back and what to do if a guy does this, that's the wrong way to go about it. So like I said in my live stream today or yesterday, I said a lot of women focus on this way of thinking, okay? If this is where you want to go, she thinks, well, what do I have to do? I gotta do 8, or I gotta do 1, I gotta do 2, I got 3, I gotta do 4, I gotta do 5, right? Whatever it is. I gotta do this, I gotta act this way, I gotta say these things, I gotta pull away, I gotta look at my red flags, and she thinks if I do it like this, right, I'll get there. Okay? And I'm telling you right now, that's the wrong way of thinking, and you're gonna fail miserably at getting guys, okay? That's not how attraction works. And a lot of dating coaches, including myself, teach it that way. Or I teach it this way, but this is what I thought I was teaching you. I always say, let me erase this, okay? So this is the problem a lot of people have. They think if I do this, I do that, I do this, I do, and it's not your fault. It's how the brain works, okay? If I do that, then I'll get this, okay? That's how a lot of people think. And that's how a lot of dating coaches teach, and that's the problem. What I would like to teach is the boring way, which you don't like, which is why a lot of people don't teach it. But I always think, and I'll move out of the way, but I always think if this is your life, right? Boom, hold on, boom, boom. I always teach if you dig holes, things fall in place. So if you work on yourself, right? If you work on yourself, well, again, and here's the thing. See, no one wants to hear that. No one wants to hear the work on yourself. No one wants to hear to lose weight and look good, right? No one wants to hear love yourself. No one wants to hear better clothing. No one wants to hear whatever, a new haircut. I mean, no one wants to hear all this stuff. No one wants to hear it, man. And that's the problem, okay? Or if I say, right here, work on other things, right? Whatever it is. Again, that could be work on yourself. This could be work on your self-esteem. This could be working on your self-esteem. And this can be other issues, like just your life, right? Your goals, friends, family, whatever it is, okay? Just hobbies. I always say, if you just go about life and you work on yourself, your self-esteem, bettering yourself, looking better, becoming better, adding more value, giving instead of taking, stop being a worrywart about what other people think, go about your life, better your relationships with your friends, your family, go out, have a bucket list, break out that 9-to-5 lifestyle, all that kind. If you do that, right, guys will tend to come at these areas, right? Because first of all, this equals confidence. All this is confidence. And it makes you seem confident. It makes you seem like a better woman, okay, overall. It just looks too systematic and too average, too basic. If I do the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 method with the X at the end, it's just like, oh, I need to do this. Okay, even if you do those things, you still have so many problems in between. And that's why it's not working out for a lot of you guys. So before we even get into this, it's important to know that the way you're thinking, where I need to do this, I need to do that, I need to do that, and this also to get him to like me. Like when I do this texting session, so many women ask me, well, if I do this, will he come back? Or what are my chances if I do that? Or what are my chances if I do no contact? It's like, who gives a shit? Who gives a flying crap? Okay? No one, the guy doesn't care. That's not how people think. Okay? If you just say, hey dude, fuck you, I don't want anything to do with you, get out of here, Nat. I don't want anything to do with you, then you're gonna do so much better. If you just say, dude, whatever, like if you don't like me, you don't like me, okay? But this is how I am, this is the path I'm going, this is what I'm doing in my life. And then you work on these kind of things are just gonna fall in place. It's gonna be so much better, okay? But anyway, that's not what you're here for, okay? I know that's a 5-minute rant. That's not what you're here for, though, okay? Now, let me tell you what you're actually here for. You want, even despite I'm telling you all that, you still want to learn the other things, okay? So here's the thing. Pulling away comes down to pulling away based on his needs and wants and the timing, okay? So here's what I mean by that. If you want to have success, you have to actually have a guy who is in the right frame of mind, meaning he's not wanting just the hookup, he's actually wanting a little something more, or he sees a little value in you or a little bit in you and he's coming back around, which we'll get to. And you want someone who is still interested in you, which is this, okay? So the 3 main reasons guys pull away is they got to know you and they lost interest, okay? You just weren't what they thought they were, or you weren't as interesting maybe, or you two got real serious and he realized, I don't want to be serious, nothing against you, he just doesn't want to be serious, he says. That's number 1. Number 2 is red flags, obviously. And number 3 is competition, okay? So a guy's usually going to pull, and this happens a lot. When you meet a guy online, I don't care if it's Facebook, Instagram, a dating site, Tinder, when you meet a guy online, there's always going to be competition, because I guarantee the way he's talking to you, he's talking to other women, okay? So again, this is what I said in the beginning. You have to have a guy in the right mindset. You have to have a guy with you have to have your ducks lined in a row, and you have to have things at a tactical advantage. When you meet a guy online, you're already having a lot of competition, okay? So I would say right there, I'm going to put a big red square around this. Again, nothing wrong with online dating. That's not what I'm saying. But you already know what I'm thinking about this. If you meet a guy online, on Tinder, on a dating app, Facebook, Instagram, if it's long distance, any of those kind of things, you're at a tactical disadvantage. We're going to put a negative sign here. You're at a tactical disadvantage, okay? Because you have competition. He's talking to other women that way. It's not just you. You can't, even though here's the thing, I'm going to get a little meta on you. Even though you might think you're scarce, okay, and listen to this, even though you might think you are scarce by pulling away and playing this game, that might be true, but what he's actually wanting isn't scarce, okay? So if he's wanting attention, if he's wanting a girlfriend, if he's wanting someone to boost his ego, or an ego boost, by you pulling away, you're just taking yourself out of the game, okay? But if what he actually wants is the ego boost, attention, a hookup, things like that, well, like I said, if you meet the guy online, right? If you meet the guy online, there's a lot of that. So just by pulling yourself away, you're not gonna, it's gone, okay? However, pulling away doesn't really work that well with competition. Again, if you meet the guy online, if you have long distance, whatever it is, pulling away doesn't really help, because like I said, even though you might be trying to play yourself scarce, what he's looking for, the actual service, is not scarce, okay? So that's number 1. Number 2, I feel like if he loses interest, you kind of have a 50-50. I'll play 50-50 here, right? And I say that because of this, okay? So here's usually the dynamic, how it comes out when a guy likes you and he's showing a lot of interest in the beginning, and then he pulls away. A lot of the time it starts off, and I put a question mark here because this is an interest level, right? It goes high, then it falls down. In this first quadrant, well, that's not really the first quadrant, but in this quadrant, he's not, it can go either way. It can go 50-50 because while he's showing investment, it's still early in the beginning. So if you were to pull away, it could go either way. He's always going to come back if this isn't a factor, right? Maybe those are a factor, but this isn't a factor. And you pull away and his interest is right here, okay? His interest is at his peak. So if you pull away at the right time, you're going to get the guy pretty much right here a majority of the time, okay? Because this is the quadrant you want to do it in. This is when his interest is at its most. He does not even see this side. See, I know we're talking about this side, but that side's not even consciously or subconsciously relevant because it has not even happened yet, okay? So all he sees is this. All he sees is this line going like this. That's all he sees. He does not see this yet. So all he can assume is it's only going to get better. It's only going to keep going. It's going to go off the charts. That's all he can assume, okay? But of course, no one pulls away at this time. I always say if you want to make a guy chase, you got to know when to do it. You got to play the game right. You got to, it's all about the timing. So this is a 50-50. This, I wouldn't pull away. There's no reason to. Here, if you want to play a little bit of mind games, you don't want them to take you for granted, you can step back a little bit. Again, I hate mind games. I hate playing that power struggle. I'm not a big fan of it. But if you even get a little hint of him pulling away, maybe at this tip or something, right where it's curving off, then yes, you want to kind of play that game, okay? And again, not for you. It's not this. Again, I'm not talking about this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No, I'm talking about this. I mean, just do you. Don't worry about him. Just do you, and things will fall in place. Okay. Don't worry about the game. Okay. But then the problem here's the problem a lot of women have. A lot of women will come to me and other dating coaches after this mark, right? After it starts going down. I like to use the analogy of a police officer. Like a lot of police officers, you don't worry about police officers. You don't think about police officers. You don't call a police officer until after the actual crime or event has happened. Then you call a police officer in hopes they can make it better. Well, guess what? If someone killed somebody and a police officer came on the scene, he can't bring you back to life. If he's actually dead, he can't bring you back to life. 99% of the time. I know there's this weird, crazy circumstances where someone fucking's dead for 10 minutes and they come back. But on average, you call the police officer after the event happened and you expect him to fix it. A lot of people do that with me. They come to me after the guy pulls away or after the red flag or after they made a mistake or after they break up. Not the way to do it, hon. So a lot of women will come into this quadrant and try to pull away when the guy's losing interest, and it's not going to work out. It might work out. You have a much better chance here than you have here, where his interest is down in the barrel, at bottom of the barrel. You're basic now. He doesn't give a shit. It's heck no. There's no reason. This is where he doesn't even give a shit, right? If you leave or not, he doesn't even give a shit. He's probably not. A lot of women always ask me, will he come back? Is he thinking of me? What's going through his head and stuff like that? And I'll tell you right now, he's not even thinking about it. He's talking to. Hey, like I said. Boop, right over here. He's talking to another woman. He's not even thinking about it. It's actually a good thing that you pulled out of his life, he thinks, because now he doesn't have to worry about your annoying ass, and he's worried about the next girl. Right here, you still have a little bit of a chance, okay? A little bit of a chance. Again, depending on why he's pulling away. If he's losing interest, I think you have a good chance here. If it's red flags, well, that's probably obviously the reason it's going down. So it depends on the red flag, okay? I think you pulling away in this quadrant because of a red flag is a good move, because obviously you want to create some space. Maybe your red flags, it's usually being clingy or needy or coming on too strong or talking about titles. So pulling away might get it to go boom and then back up again. Here again, does not matter. But yeah, losing interest, this might work because he might miss you. Okay. Red flags, it might work because you need to pull away anyway. Because you're showing the red flags, that's why it's going down. And then competition is probably going down where he's talking to another woman, and it's going to keep on going down, okay? So what I'm trying to basically say is the reason is very important why he's pulling away. That will dictate a lot of it. At the same time, you got to know when to pull away at the right time. Now, of course, finally, lastly, I have these two things here. When you do pull away, depending on the timing of it, I think you should pull away 100%. And when I say 100%, that means no liking his Facebook statuses, no liking his Instagram pictures, no looking at his snaps. Just act as if he's not there. Act as if it does not matter, okay? And then when he does reach out, you need to respond, okay? Like, you're not, like, if you're pulling away here, especially here, like, don't be a bitch about it, okay? Like, if you're, again, this is why I don't play the games. This is why I say this stuff does not matter. You're focusing on the stuff that just has no, it's so small it doesn't matter. Like, stop focusing on when to pull away in the mind games. It doesn't matter. That's why so much of you are going to fail with guys. You're focusing on the wrong things. You know, so pulling, again, I don't think there's any reason to really pull away here. That's why, again, that's why I think this whole thing's irrelevant. Stop worrying about pulling away. You need to worry about getting attraction in the beginning. A guy will never pull away if you do your job correctly with attraction. You always need to focus on attraction. That's everything. Not this, okay? Not this stuff. But if you focus on attraction, you'll get the guy you won't need to pull away. But hypothetically, if you do pull away, let's say on this side, and these, especially down here and there, I don't know about that. You need to pull back. We're gonna say pull back here and pull away here. But when you do, you need to pull away 100%. Cut out all that middleman bullshit. But when he does initiate, you respond. Actually, I would say yes here. I'll say no here. This, it doesn't matter. This is probably where he's a low ego man, and he's gonna come back and try to get with you, hook up with you, use you, play you, stuff like that. And please, for the love of God, don't think you can get him back, or that you can get revenge on him. He doesn't care. You know, they always say whoever loves less wins, okay? He does not care. He's always gonna win in this quadrant. Here, you can take your chances if you want. Like I said, pull away 100%, and when he initiates, you respond. Why wouldn't you? A lot of women always ask me, well, should I respond to him? Yeah, why wouldn't you? Here, you shouldn't, but if he's pulling away a little bit, you don't have enough, intel or evidence to understand why he's pulling away or what he's actually doing, okay? So, I always think the right thing to do is not even focus on pulling away, focus on attraction in the beginning. And you pulling away, you obviously can't create the attraction. Here's a good analogy. It's not even an analogy, it's just a thing that people say you should be doing, okay? They say if you want to get a guy to like you in the beginning, you got to be in his life a little more, okay? You got to give him a reason to hook. That's why a lot of guys in the beginning, okay, like I always show this chart. They always do this in the beginning. It's called the law of association, okay? You need to, I think it's the law, I forgot what it was, but you need to show yourself a lot in the beginning, okay? A lot until he's hooked. So when, in the beginning, you got to give him a reason to like you. If you and I were talking and we're only seeing each other once a month, there's no way I'm going to see you as a girlfriend material. There's no way I'm going to be attracted to you. I'm only seeing you once or twice a month. There's no way in heck I'm gonna like you. There's too much distance there. So you might need to ramp it up in the very beginning. And when I say very beginning, I mean very beginning. At the same time, I still might not do that just because I know how guys are and they freak out. But what I would do, but after that, after you hook him, okay, after you hook him, then that's where you start to die off a little bit, because now you gotta play scarce, okay? You don't got to play scarce here because he doesn't know the value of you yet. He doesn't know the value yet. But once he sees the value, then you got to pull off a little bit and you become scarce. Okay, so the problems women make is they pull away way too early. Like I said, this is basically what this is. You pull away way too early and you don't have them hooked. Or you pull away way too late. That's why I said the pulling away stuff, that's too much of a game. I wouldn't worry about it. Just worry about attraction, okay? So with that being said, this is a 19-minute video. That's a pretty long video, wow. But it is important to go over these kind of things because I think you need to know what to do when you actually do it. But at the same time, it's not the most important thing. I'm telling you, women who focus on this stuff are going to fail miserably, especially because you can't help the fact that you met the guy. A lot of you, I'll say a good majority, over half easily of you met the guy online, okay, or Tinder or Facebook, or he's an old friend who came back into your life, or an ex or something like that. I'm telling you, you have competition. that's a losing battle, hon. You got to find another way to get men. Okay, and when you do, make sure you're fun, make sure you're awesome, limit the red flags, and focus on that. Okay, don't pull away too early in the beginning. But if you do, I'd rather you pull away early than late, because when it's late, it doesn't matter. He don't give a shit. He don't give a shit. Great, he wants that. Okay, and like I said, you have to hook them first, then pull away. A lot of women pull away when it's too late and it doesn't matter. Okay, so with that being said, ladies, I love you. Take care. My stuff is below if you want my value guide, working with me, phone sessions, all that kind of stuff. So I hope to hear from you, ladies. Love you. Take care. Peace.